Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast morning show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And today, for September 10th, 2025, I'll run through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, etc. So, yeah. Good to see Autonomous Jam X. Yeah, that was some Ice Cap Zone. That's actually number one on my video game music playlist. No particular order. When I was building out the playlist a long time ago, years ago, I was like, that's one song I need on there. It's actually a 30-minute version. Who needs that, really? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing good this week. We're in the middle of the week, right? Yeah, we're in the middle of the week. So this week's gone by pretty quick. Let's quickly jump into first what I've been playing, and then we'll get into news. Some more Split Fiction with the wife. I don't know what much more I can add every day other than I seem to prefer the fantasy platforming sections. Whenever there's like the time-based rhythm stuff, yeah, not my thing. And then played more of that game Shing that I was talking about. It's a 3D brawler, or a Streets of Rage style brawler. It's actually a really good game, but it does have a flaw, and that flaw is the combat system. So basically, and it could be still something I need to figure out, or it's because I think this game is made to be multiplayer, but it takes forever to kill enemies. And not only does it take forever to kill enemies, but sometimes, and this is good design in a way. Like, let's say there's two different enemies, just two, on screen with me at once, and they're two different types of enemies. I then have to take my time to manage that, because it could be one has a shield and I have to wait for them to throw a certain projectile that I can block back to destroy that shield, while usually the other enemy is one that throws bombs. Where it throws bombs, I have to make sure while I'm waiting for the other guy to throw a projectile at me that I'm dodging the bombs. Now I could go and start attacking the guy that's throwing the bombs, but I have to wait for the guy to throw a projectile at. Anyway, I feel like in multiplayer that's a lot easier to manage. But also it's because the enemy's health, it takes forever. There's ways to do combos to, I guess, decrease or increase your hit attack power. But I think, yeah, multiplayer is the way to go. I think Shing is a good game. I think it's an overlooked game, but I think it's because how it plays if you play single player. So it would be interesting sometime if I can find out a way to get some multiplayer of Shing going on. Even the achievements I got so far: complete tutorial, complete first challenge room, master level 1, complete level 1, beat the first boss, complete the second lore room. So I didn't complete the first lore room. I completed the first challenge room. So there's a lot going on in this game, really. And I'm conflicted if I'm going to continue to play it. And I don't know how much of it, and this is the other unique thing about it, it seems like it was developed in a vacuum, in a bubble, where it doesn't do things that most games do. It does things in its own way, and it works, even from the menu, even from the layout, even the lore we were talking about. Like, in this game, you can just hang out and talk to people between missions, like lore, and get lore. It's very interesting how this game is. It really is. So, all right. I was playing some more Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragon. So during my birthday month of August, which it still technically is. So this is how I do the birthday thing, because when August 1st hits, I'm excited to celebrate my birthday month, all the things that come up or come out before my birthday leading up to, so I can enjoy. We had Earthyawn, Gradius Origins, the movies like Naked Gun, Toxic Avenger. Like, it was really cool. Another thing that came out was Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons DLC of 2 new characters. And they just released 2 characters in May. So these are 2 new characters in August. And I don't know if you guys remember that stream when I was playing to unlock the characters. it was like, oh, I have to go through to play the game to get tokens in order to unlock the character. So obviously I wouldn't be able to get that all during that one stream. And I never got back to it until today. I decided to get back to it because there are extra characters that released in August as part of the birthday celebration, and it's only September 10th, so I could probably celebrate this up until the 30th, right? Um, of playing Double Dragon, of getting the characters from last month. So I was playing last night just for a little bit, and man, this game is just good. It's just a good game. It's so fun. Maybe I'll jump into it here in a second. I don't know. And then I played a little bit of Super Robot Wars Y. Just one match or two. Actually, I ended up playing two. It's man, I have so much to say about this game. It's if you are from Japan and love the Super Robot, like I can understand why this game would be amazing. There's like I don't know all of the IP in the Super Robot Wars, so some of it, it's not that interesting. But when I do know the characters, it is interesting. But also, they speak in Japanese. If it was English, or if I was fluent in Japanese, I would be way more immersed. And I think that's what makes it the ultimate experience. If you're fluent in Japanese and know all of the IP, I can understand where that isn't an amazing game. So that's why for someone like me, as much as it's cool and I'm drawn to it, it's also lacking in a lot of areas because a lot of it is supposed to be, okay, you're immersed into this. So you're going to like all the little random side things that are happening at all times, with characters talking. Story, for me, it has not much of an impact. I'm just wanting to get to the Gundam stuff. And that happened last night. I was like, played a mission. Then I was like, okay, I'll play one more mission. But then that next mission unlocked, and I didn't play them yet, but a bunch of Gundam missions and Godzilla. I know, Ultron, I'm sure we were talking about that. So you only get certain units based on the missions that have them available. If you beat the mission, you get those units. So I was doing some G Gundam seed and wing stuff. Did I get wing stuff? Oh, it's more of like there's bad guy wing. No, I don't have any wing units. Just okay. But I've been seeing wing stuff. So next up, it looks like it's stuff from UC. One of the missions talk about Char, and then another one talks about Godzilla. So I think I'm at the point I wanted to be to get kind of the units I'm more into. This is where I might have more fun with the game, the immersion, all that. It's very interesting. Very interesting for me personally playing Super Robot Wars Y, because we've always talked about how I don't care for turn-based games. But there is something to the fun of when I have my units I like and I'm engaging in turn-based combat. It is fun. And the music is great. I don't know how much the music is great because it's just good music or because you're listening to the theme starting up over and over again. But G Gundam, all the music ends up being good. It's very interesting. Okay, so that was a lot of OGMK. I can understand that sentiment. You kind of benefit more if you're familiar with the franchises. Yeah. So I would say if you're someone that's into that Super Robot Wars, I bet Super Robot Wars is like an amazing game, like game of the year if you're into, or not that just that you're into it, but you're fluent um, in the culture. Okay, let's jump into some news. Okay, so apparently this month or the beginning of the month marked 30 years for PlayStation in North America. So I didn't realize that. And I remember when the PlayStation first came out, I didn't think it was as cool, and for a while, and even still, because a lot of the games were more of these sort of um oh, I'm calling it out. They're kind of like split fiction likes, where a lot of the PlayStation games that came out, most of them, were more 3D games that were made for everybody. And I was still really deep into stuff on Super Nintendo, 32X, Sega CD, N64, Dreamcast. Even though there were cool PlayStation games that were out there, like Battle Arena Toshinden would be one because of the fighters. I liked that. um let's see where. Okay, so during that time, and I'm trying to think of what I was doing, maybe video game related during this time. One thing I saw that Twisted Metal came out, and it's so crazy to think, David Jaffe making Twisted Metal, how old he was, right? He was like 20. He was like super young. And it's like it's crazy how old I am, and I haven't done. It's just some of those things in life mind-boggling. That's why sometimes I think a lot of it is right place, right time, right attitude, right? Even if that attitude is a fake attitude, I think right place, right time, the right attitude around the right people can allow you to get things done. That's why sometimes it's good to take risks. Go out there, do things, communicate with people that you might not, because you never know. David Jaffe is more of that forward confident type, and so that lended well to him doing that. Anyway, yeah, Twisted Metal, Star Wars Dark Forces, and I remember specifically the day. I remember my dad. He's like, "Hey, a guy from work, here's Dark Forces." And then I played through that. Rayman, I didn't play right away. Jumping Flash, because I would play PlayStation like at a friend's house or at a store. I would just remember I was playing PlayStation a lot, and it just nothing wanted me to like. Oh, I need that as much as like N64 with Super Mario 64 and Shadows of the Empire, And I had a PC, so being able to play just Dark Forces, you know. Twisted Metal, I remember being at a friend's house, and I remember specifically in the living room, and it was one of those, hey, Twisted Metal just came out. Let's play some Twisted Metal. And that was the first time I played it. And that was funny because that would be one, I want to get Twisted Metal, but then they came out with Vigilante 8 on N64 and Dreamcast, so it kind of solved that. Yeah, I even remember Command & Conquer, same sort of thing. It was my older half-brother, and he was like, hey, this just came out. And I was like, oh, and then I installed, I was like, oh my God, great game. Great game. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island came out that time. And I remember as much as I like Super Nintendo, I didn't really care about the Yoshi's Island gimmick going on. But Donkey Kong Country 2, for sure. Even Chrono Trigger came out during that time. I bet there were other. Okay, Bug on Sega Saturn. So I remember we rented a Sega Saturn because I wasn't sure if that's something I would have wanted or not. With the N64 coming around the corner. And it is interesting that I went with N64 instead of Sega Saturn, even though I'm more of a Sega guy. But the Saturn didn't release with anything Sonic right up front, right? Whereas the N64, even though it didn't have a lot of games, it had 2 Star Wars games. It had Rogue Squadron and Shadows of the Empire, which was shortly within its release, while also having, Mario Kart, Mario 64. The N64 was crazy. So when you're a kid and you couldn't really buy, or your parents wouldn't get you every console, I was still lucky to get what I did. But in fact, I remember in order to get the N64, they didn't even buy it. I think I sold my classic games to get enough money to buy the N64. That's kind of how that happened. What 32X games came out then? Let's see. Because I remember I loved it, the 32X. And I know a lot of people didn't, but there were so many fun games. It says Afterburner. That was a great one. Fahrenheit requires Sega C. Knuckles Chaotix. Man, look at all this. Metalhead. That was okay. Let me back up. Knuckles Chaotix. Never really beat it. That was a weird one. Like I remember it's like, we're getting a Sonic game, but it doesn't play like a Sonic game. I don't know if you guys have played Knuckles Chaotix. It's weird that what they did. It's like a momentum based thing. Calibri, great. It's a shmup, pretty much a shmup. Metalhead was a 3D like a mecha game, pretty hard. Motocross Championship. This one was so fun. The Shadow Squadron, love it. It was a 3D space fighter. Played a little bit of Supreme Warrior. That was that Sega CD 32X one. That was pretty cool. Tempo. That was a cool side-scrolling game. T-Mech. another Met game that I thought was pretty cool. And so it's interesting to see, like, in 1995, when the PlayStation was coming out, I was already in a situation where I was getting a lot of games. It actually is crazy to see how many 32X games came out in 1995. Again, I feel like the 32X was a lot of fun. Oh, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I remember loving NBA Jam stuff back then. Yeah, so it's interesting to think that when the PlayStation came out, I wasn't in a rush to get it because I was still enjoying what I was getting from the 32X, but then also there was the N64 around the corner. Pretty interesting. Okay, heading back. So that was all about the PlayStation. This started because there's, like, I guess Limited Run Games has this book, about stuff. Okay, 3D platformer Teeto to be published by Super Rare Originals, and I don't know much about this. I did download a demo. Maybe we'll get to it today or tomorrow. But it looks like a traditional classic.
I'm gonna call you.
Let me see, platformer, jumping around, doing stuff. And after playing, I played those two Smurf games at the end of last year, and the third one has come out, and I need to beat that. Or was it this year I beat the Smurfs game? Anyway, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza, great platformer. Oh wow, and this has co-op. Okay, so maybe this is a thing to try. Okay. Oh, Odin Sphere on PlayStation is on sale for $15. I don't know if you guys ever. I think the first Odin Sphere came out on PS2. I really liked it. This is supposed to be a Ultimate Edition. It's normally $60. It's on sale for $15. That's a good one. For 2 weeks. That's good to know. All right, check this out. Actors who are in the running for God of War's Kratos, according to Film TV insider John Campea. I don't know if you guys follow the John Campea show. I am a fan and not a fan at the same time. But let's just say this, when he has potential rumors, they're usually, if they're not right on, it could probably change for some reason, but he usually has good sources for that. So we've got Winston Duke, Joe Manganiello, never really bother saying his name often. Christopher Judge, which seems like it would be a good idea because of how he looks. And he did the voice. Manu Bennett, never heard of. Oh, okay. That guy. He looks like he looks like these other guys that I've seen before. Jason Momoa, Travis Fimmel. Oh, where have I? Where else? Warcraft. That's where I've seen this guy. You know, so the thing with I guess who plays God of War, like I never really thought about the color, or how much it would matter. Although technically he's Greek, but I don't know if, to me, because they're probably gonna have paint on. I don't know. I actually don't think it matters for some reason to me for Kratos, because like Dave Bautista, where's he from? Because and what makes someone look Greek or not? Especially again the way that Kratos looked in God of War, he has a very non-racial look. Does that even make sense? Okay, so that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. We'll see where that goes. I think that they're just going to need someone that's going to have the presence. The presence is going to be a big deal, more than the looks. Okay. Let's see. What is this? From Switchforce, I'm anticipating the Direct is announced tomorrow, giving a 48-hour notice for Friday's show. So apparently there's going to be Direct Friday. We will see. That seems to be a funny thing that happens all the time. Are these Direct, trying to guess the Directs? Let's see. I think that is it for. Oh yeah, here's something that I must have missed. So we were talking about Panzer Dragoon, and I was like, man, they're coming out with a sequel, and I was like, I need to get back to playing, Panzer Dragoon Orta. And while I was looking that up, you can get it for $10 on Xbox right now. Like it is backwards compatible available. But then I saw Panzer Dragoon Remake, which I didn't even know this was releasing. It's like cheap right now. It's like $1, $2, and it's on every platform. So I'm going to do some research later and see if, well, why later? Why not right now since we're all here? Because I wanted to see what is the best platform to get it on. I'd hate to get it on. Here we go. Okay, Panzer Dragoon Remake is finally an enjoyable experience on Switch 2. That is the kind of news I want to hear. So, let's see. On Switch 2, there isn't a patch or anything to my knowledge, but just the frame rate being very smooth and the resolution soon being higher. So, let's see. Is anyone else? Yeah, it can confirm. So, isn't it interesting how many Switch 1 games have automatic upgrades on Switch 2? But some, like Nintendo's Kirby, it requires, and Zelda, and all, it requires a $20 upgrade. Now, yeah, you're getting content with it, but I think that's the way for them to justify you paying. So I'm a little disappointed that Nintendo is doing that, but I guess, I guess in this case, like you could see from third party, that it works. Huh. So that is actually really neat. Let's see, how much is it on Switch? Yeah, it's on sale, $3 on Switch. 2 weeks left, so FYI if you're interested. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna jump into a game, and I'm wondering which one we're gonna jump into. Let's do the Teeto demo. I'm actually curious since knowing that now it has co-op split screen. Because I was thinking Double Dragon, Rise of the Dragons, but I've played that a lot already. Although it's a fun game, such a fun game. Played it last night. It's like so good combat mechanics. Okay. Is it just me or is the sound low? I think it sounds a little low. Although this must not be Unreal Engine because it is pretty fast. I'm joking. I don't know. We'll find out. Camera invert. Thank you. Okay, playing settings had a bug, but okay. All right, let's see here. Is this game worthy? Is this game worthy of... Okay, I'm seeing some weird graphical effects. Let me change something. Okay. Look at that. Something up there. Found a new outfit. All right. Oh, okay. Co-op is this down here that you just turn on. Even the demo has it. That's cool. All right, here's a chair. I can absorb it. Oh, okay. So this has some Kirby-ness to it. And then you shoot things out. You press RT for OMG so fluffy. Okay. And then you could draw. That's funny. It reminds me of last night playing Split Fiction. We're at this area where you can like draw with flowers or whatever. That's kind of like what's going on here. Okay. You know, it's funny thinking of Banjo-Kazooie. You know, having the character on the back of the other, and that seems to be the thing now. Because Banjo, Donkey Kong. Alright, so now I'm a rock. And I can bash things. Alright. Alright, let's go to... The beginning sounds cool, but this Sunshine Forest looks cooler. But hey, Let's try the beginning. I think that's the intention. Oh, is this where you get outfits? Okay. Didn't I unlock a unicorn? Yeah, I guess it was that one. But let's do this ninja. Experiment T33TO. Teeto. That's how he gets his name. Test the neutralization of the corrupted shadow matter.
Phase 1 complete.
Huh.
Feel free to look around while I take notes. Please don't break anything.
So it's like it was a rabbit that made this little dude?
Okay, buddy. Come over here when you're ready to start phase 2.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, quick intro. I'm Nori. You are subject T33T0.
This voice acting sounds very familiar.
I'm gonna call you Teeto. I know you just got here and everything, but I need your help. To start
Okay.
us off, I need you to focus on the shadow matter in this jar. Try absorbing it. Effectively neutralized. Good job, Teeto. Give me a minute to write this all down. Feel free to hang out for a moment. Make
So
yourself at home.
I could tell this is gonna have similar gameplay to like what's in Smurfs,
Wait, what is happening?
the Donkey Kong Bonanza, where there's a lot of like manipulating physics in the environment, like absorbing or removing things. Oh, that's neat. Trash. Let's absorb trash.
That's so crazy. I know a way we can use that. I know you're only like 5 minutes old, but I'm gonna blow your tiny little mind. Hey, come over to the big screen. I've got something to show you.
Okay, so water makes me
Okay, so bad
normal.
news first. The planet's being eaten by creepy shadow things. They kind of oozed out of this shadow matter stuff. Really? I
Okay.
made you a backpack. It's got a machine in it that can meet my proudest failure. So I made a guy named Michael, and then he duplicated a lot.
Oh, Michael.
Scattered across the land.
Michael is the enemy.
Confused glitter. Villains,
villain.
Danger. Lost baby Michaels. Bring it on. 2 heroes, 1 mission, and 0.
Okay, let's do it.
Company?
Okay, so this
I know
is
I
cool.
am. Oh, before we go, I've got a spare Vionite around here somewhere. We should bring it with us. Use the arrow finder to track it down.
Use the arrow finder. Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Now let's get out of here.
Okay, I like that there's
A baby Michael, quick, catch him.
a baby Michael. Okay, that's kind of funny. Oh, stars. Yay.
All safe now, sweetie.
Okay, this is
All
pretty
right,
charming.
Teeto.
I think
See
they
that crane hook up there? Let's
think
use
they
that
got
to
me.
get us out. Woo!
Well, I guess they didn't really necessarily need to do that yet. There was
Sorry,
other
this
stuff
place
to get,
seems like
but
a bit of a junkyard. It's because it is.
Okay. Oh, you automatically get the little glide thing. So the movement in this game from the start is top notch.
Has a Vionite. We need to get it down somehow. Coming up, I've put together a super high-tech simulation of the shadow creatures to help train you in combat.
Okay. So I just touched Michael. That sounded wrong, but that's all you gotta do. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, fine. Yes, it's just cardboard. But, oh, wait, there's more.
I'm a big bad shadow monster thing. I'm a bad guy, an evil bad guy, and I will never be defeated.
Defeat the cardboard.
You'll never defeat me. Oh no, I'm defeated.
Congratulations!
Oh,
You
I'm
can
missing
defeat
a
cardboard.
Vianite. Do the stars reappear after I grab them or something? Or just that many? This is fun, guys. This is fun. So I probably have to... I bet there's some substance I can absorb that allows me to then do something with that. I'll mention that later. Classic wall jump. All right, it is that time, and I gotta bounce, but
That looks like it might
I
be
know
a bit far
sometimes
for
I
us
can
to
always
jump.
be super positive all of a sudden, but oh yeah, in co-op, but this is fun. This came out of nowhere. I'm gonna look up some details real quick, but it is my time to go. Okay, visit store page. Coming soon. Not out yet, but glad that there's a demo and that there's co-op in it. This is pretty cool. I guess we don't have any information yet. Okay, well, let's keep an eye out for that. That's Teeto. Okay. All right. Well, that is it for today's Blue Gamer Bluecast. Hope everyone had a good time this morning. This has my first open 3D action adventure platform game. You know what? It might, but as I was playing it, I started feeling that, oh, actually, this is something a little more. I think the graphics make it come off a little simple, but there's more to it. So, yeah, we'll talk later, guys. I'll have a good rest of the day. See you.